Hi everyone. Whether they realize it or not, people are walking around every day with a bunch of to-do lists on their minds. And Stealthywood is no exception, as we also have many tasks to remember. Therefore, we needed a project management tool to help us organize and prioritize our projects. We didn't want to waste time on lengthy training for a complicated organizational tool. It had to be easy to use, but also fun and flexible. We were looking for something intuitive, like a whiteboard filled with groups of Post-it notes. So we decided to work with Odoo's project app, which uses a Kanban view system similar to the whiteboard concept we're looking for. It's a time-saving tool that gives us a visual overview of all of our projects. Thanks to the app, it's easy to know what is being worked on, who is working on it, and how far they've gotten. So let's go ahead and check it out. All right, once we're on Odoo, we are going to jump to the project application, of course. Now at Stealthywood, we actually would like to offer a service where we customize furniture. So I'm going to create a project that is specific to that. So once I'm here on the dashboard view of the project application, I simply need to click on the Create button. And right away, I will be prompted to add a project name. So here I'm going to say customization. All right, I also have the option to add an email alias. So the example they give is officeparty@yourcompany.odoo.com. So whenever someone sends an email to that alias, a task will be created in the project, which is a super cool tool, but I don't need that for this particular project. So I'm simply going to click on Create. Then I'll be redirected to the project where it's going to prompt me to start adding some columns. So I'm going to add different columns that will act as different stages for my tasks. And it will vary between project to project. And if I don't know, or if I don't have any ideas as to what column titles I should use, I can see some examples by clicking on the See Examples button here. All right, so here, if you have a project related to software development, they suggest having some columns: backlog, specifications, development, tests, and delivered. And you can even use that in your own Kanban by clicking on this button here. All right, so you have a lot of examples on the left that you can scroll through. But I'm going to close this and I'm going to add some columns that I'm already thinking of. So the first one will be specification. The second one is going to be in progress. Then we'll have our presentation to the customer. And finally, the task will be done. All right, I'm clicking on Enter to quickly add the columns, but as soon as I'm done editing or adding columns, I simply have to click away for those changes to be saved and to be out of the edit mode. All right, cool. So far so good. I have my columns. Now I also need some tasks. So I'm going to create a new task by clicking on the Create button. All right, the first task I will create will be, let's say, office chairs. And these are going to be extra tall. So I'm going to put XL. I'm going to click on Enter to create a new task right away. Let's say office desk for 23 people. And you're going to see that I have this assigned to myself as I'm creating the task. It's going to be assigned to me by default, but I can change that quickly, which is what I'm going to do for the next task. So here I'm going to put drawer, let's say baby room. And I'm going to change who it's assigned to right here. Let's say César. And unlike the others where I just quickly added those tasks and saved them, I'm actually going to edit this task and add some additional information. So I'm going to click on the Edit button. That's going to redirect me to the task in the edit mode. And of course, you can click on the task and edit at the top to edit it at any other time. So the first thing I'm going to do here is actually to add a customer. All right, and I can also add a sales order item as well that's related to that customer if I would like to. All right, we see again that it's assigned to César, and I'm going to add a deadline for 2 weeks from today. And I'm also going to add some tags. Now, this is really useful, again, to stay organized. I can also filter with for all the tasks that have these tags, which is really useful. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and add baby room, drawer, let's say wood. And if I want to create a task on the fly, let's say I'm going to make this out of pine. All right, I just simply have to enter the word, Click on create, and I can even change the color of this tag right away as well. All right, so I don't have to go somewhere in the settings to create these tags. I can do that on the fly, which is really cool. And then we're going to be able to add our description, of course, where you can edit text, add images, do whatever you need to do there. All right, so let's save this for now. And now we're going to see that we can actually change the stage of the task right here from the form view, but I'm going to go back to the Kanban. All right, so let's click on customization. I'm following the breadcrumbs here. All right, I have my 3 tasks, my different stages. Now, if I want to say that a task is ready to go, I can actually change this bullet here. All right, so I'm going to click on this. Say it's green, it's ready. All right, so it's ready to go, and then we're going to move it to in progress. I'm going to see that that bullet is removed because even if it was ready in the specification stage, it might not be ready to move forward in the in progress stage. And I can even say that this is blocked if I need to. All right, so that again is just a really cool way to have a really nice view of what's good to go, what's blocked, right here from the Kanban view. And I can also prioritize tasks as well. So I'll just add a star for the tasks that I need to prioritize. All right, and this is extremely useful if you have a lot of tasks. Those that are prioritized will jump to the top of the column, which is really nice. All right, and again, I'm going to drag and drop this. We can also change these bullets as well. So I can modify the settings for those bullets if I would like to. All right, so something else that might be useful is actually to fold some stages because let's imagine you have a lot of tasks that are done, but in fact, you don't need to see those and you want to have a cleaner, more organized view of your Kanban here. All you have to do is click on the settings cog and we're going to fold just like that. And we can unfold as well. It's very simple. And you're going to see that you have a lot of options here. So we can also edit stages. All right, this is where we're going to be able to edit those bullets that I was talking about right here from the column stage. All right, I can even say if it should be permanently folded in the Kanban. All right, so I'm going to save this. Okay, since I just opened it, I will reclose it. All right, and then we have our nice, beautiful overview. Now I can also archive or unarchive tasks as well. So let's go to that settings cog and I can archive all of these. I can also do them individually if I click on the task settings. But let's see what happens when we archive all of the tasks here. All right, of course, they're going to disappear from our view, which is useful if you have a lot of tasks that you're no longer using or no longer need to be present or visible in the project, but you don't want to lose them. You still want to keep a record. And to quickly go back to access those, I can go to my filter here and click on archive. So I'm just looking at the tasks that are archived, and I can unarchive them just like that. All right, I'm going to remove this filter to go back to my regular project view. I can add some other filters as well. I can filter only on the tasks that I'm assigned to, or those that are unassigned, for example, or those that I'm following even. So let's go ahead and look at followed tasks. I'm following all of the tasks, including that one that is not assigned to me because I created it. And I'll see here when I'm looking at the tasks that I'm a follower. Now, using the filter tool is extremely useful, but we can also group by certain things as well. So for example, if you want to see the tasks that are related to specific people, we can group based on who it's assigned to. All right, so right now I'm looking at both the tasks that I'm following and I'm grouping by those who are they assigned to. I can also remove certain filters and add just like that so I can really see exactly what it is that I'm looking for. So that's a tool definitely to take advantage of. Now, I mentioned briefly that there are also some settings for the tasks specifically. So I can click on these 3 little dots. Again, you can archive here. You can even delete a task. I can edit it. I can share the task, and I can even set a cover image. Let's see what that looks like. All right, let's add this image here. I'm not sure what image it is, but it's this beautiful desk piece of furniture, probably not for 23 people, but that might be the image that I'm uploading for the inspiration of this desk that we will customize for the customer. All right, so that's something that's really cool. And again, you see all of this in the Kanban view, so you can keep an eye on everything that's happening, including the activities you have scheduled, and you can schedule activities from here as well by clicking on the little clock. All right, so you can share specific tasks, but you can also share an entire project. All right, so let's go back to the dashboard view. All right, so first of all, I'm going to go to the project and I'm going to click on those three little dots again. This is where I can edit and share. All right, and so from here I can click on the share button and I have a link that I can either copy and paste, send it to whoever I would like, or I can add it to a specific, or I can send it to a specific recipient. All right, so in this case, let's add the John Smith and we're going to click on send. All right, so then that email, that invitation will be sent to John. I actually already have it in my email here. So I see that I'm invited to access this specific project. All right, we will also be able to do that when we edit the project as well. And you're going to see that we can color code these, which we can also do for the tasks, which is just a neat little additional feature. So I'm going to click on edit. All right, if I have it in the not edit mode, but in the regular view, that's where I'm going to be able to see that share pop up again. All right, but something I want to point out as far as sharing projects is that whoever you're sharing the project with does need to have the right to view it. So for example, here we see the visibility. In this case, all invited portal users and all internal users can access this project. But if you say just invited internal users, for example, and I send it to the John Smith, who is not an internal user, it will not let you share it with him. All right, and then we also have the option all internal users as well. Now, something else we can do, which is really cool, is we can actually change what we call the tasks. We don't have to call them tasks. We can call them whatever we would like. So for example, here, maybe I want to say requests. All right, and I click on save. And I'm going to jump back to the project. And now I see I have 3 requests rather than 3 tasks. And then I can click on the requests and I see them here. All right, and again, that's just a nice little additional feature that will help you stay organized, and each project is different. So it really helps you customize the project based on your business's needs. Now that's all for this video. Thank you for watching. And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.